Good afternoon, Kelvin. Yeah, Noel and Pharaoh. So we will start in a short time. Today, we will look for chapter number 2, Malicious Software. Please ready your lecture notes. When you look at the lecture notes, there's about not so many, less than 100, about 99 slides today. What do you think? All right, let's start chapter number 2. Now, before I start the lecture, what do you understand by malicious software? You may give me some keywords, no need in a full sentence. No worry about right or wrong. You just share me your opinion, your understanding. When you look at the word malicious, what is that? Malicious
Do
software.
do bad thing.
Do bad thing. So straightforward, huh? Do bad thing. Let me look at the chat box. Software that harm the computer. Good, Noel. Very bad virus. Yeah. Do bad thing, Kelvin. Yes. So malicious software here stand for malware. Uh, sorry. Malicious software. Sometimes you will see the term called malware. Malware means malicious software. So in short, they call it malware. Let me highlight to you. I install it several times. Why? Under what condition? Pirated software and come together. Yes, malware and included the E there. Pirated software, movies, or software. Games, yes, somehow now popular. So when you look at the name, malicious software, in short, we call it malware. How do you know you are installed malware? Any symptoms to your computer system? Unusual behavior such as pop-up advertisement. Yeah, that could be what is it? Adware. Okay, adware. Yes, and maybe my produce sound in certain time where you didn't set it, but it produce some not say annoying, but unusual sound. And pop up certain messages, yeah, where we have no idea what is that. Yeah, that's the symptom, correct? And there are many more symptoms. So for this, wanna cry also no use. When you go through this topic, as I mentioned, this still quite interested. You will learn a lot of different types of malware where sometimes we have no idea. Oh, exist these kinds of software where you never heard about before. When you look at the slide, a bit long, 99 slides, but I don't think I want to finish all the 99 slides today. I will make it half. According to course plan today, have to complete chapter 2, but there's too much. So I will split it 2 times. And for next chapter, not so many slides, and I will combine to the other lecture. I will make sure everything are done before your e-test. You will have a one e-test on week number 10, covered chapter 1 until chapter 7, and one assignment. So by this week, I will release assignment. Right? This is our objective. Hang on, let me drink some water. Talk non-stop this morning. Objective number one, describe two broad mechanisms malware uses to propagate. Second, basic operation viruses, worm, Trojan. In general, can you differentiate these three, virus, worm, and Trojan? Do you able to differentiate these three types of a malware?
No.
Oh, okay, no worry. This chapter we will learn this. Next, four broad category of a malware payload. If have enough time, I will. What I plan today, I will cover one, two, three, lah. One, two, three point bullet number one, two, and three. All right. Sorry, when I present PowerPoint, always like this cannot proceed sometimes. I think I will escape this slide. Hang on. Definitions. Okay, look at the definitions of a malware here. Malware stands for malicious software, or in short, we call it malware. What is this malware? We know it's a bad software, destroyed system, and which might affect the performance of our system. But how do we define this malware is? This is a type of program. Okay, this is a type of program, just like your game. A game also program. Malware also program, but they're doing different for different purposes. So this program inserted into our system. After that, their intention is to compromise. Compromise, we learned CIA last week. Compromise confidentiality of the data, integrity, and availability. Not only for victims' data, but also the system that running by the users. Okay, next one. Next line, you will see different terms. Okay, different terms and the description. I will not go through one by one with you. This one, I leave it to you, the terminology, malware terminology. Some of it we will also explain in detail in the following slide, such as um, drive-by download, DOS, keylogger, logic bomb, mobile code, rootkit. Some will be discussed in our following topics, so no worry. Okay, this one I leave it to you. Trojan horse, virus, worm, zombie, both. You look at the next slide. It's about classifications of a malware. There are a lot of different malware. Then how do we classify them? Okay, in two categories. Hang on, let me adjust my table. Okay, categorize in two. One, based on how the malware spread. Spread in another term, propagate. You will see this term many times throughout our chapter number two. So propagate here means how it spread. Second, based on the payload. Payload means the actions of the malware. Okay, take note. If you have a highlighter, please highlight these two. Should have you highlight these two? This is a population. So
Okay.
two category based on how it spread. Yeah, thank you. How it spread, propagate, and what will be the action will cause some negative impact to the system. This is the term we use, payloads. We also classify it based on, when we look at the right hand side, those that need a host program, such as virus. Virus will extract at the host program. If without it, without someone trigger, it will not be infected. I will go through virus in the following slide. So second classification, those that are independent. Independent means without needs of a host program. Next, malware that does not replicate. Replicate means duplicate. Like a Trojan horse and spam mail will not duplicate, but worm, yes. Last one, malware that duplicate, so replicate, so different. Next one. Next one is about types of a malicious software. Sorry, once again. Not responding. Haha. The slide is not forward, right? Yeah. Is the display too slow if I do it this way? Too small or not?
Yeah.
Too small? Okay, let me. Hang on. Bit slow. Okay, while waiting, please go through the following slide. I will open the downloaded version here. How about like this? Sam?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I look at the container in your PowerPoint slide. That's considered complete lecture notes with all the explanation there. So during my class, I will try to capture, summarize it. But three of you have to also study. Means after my class, you have to prepare some time, go through the slide again with all the content. Yeah, look at some slides with too much of content. Next one, we look at this one. Propagation and also payloads. What is a propagation here? You look at those terms we highlighted here. So propagation, infections of existing contained by virus, and this container that affected will spread to other system and again to another following system. So that's meaning by propagation. Like just now in the previous slide, we know that propagation here means spread. Okay. Next one, how about payload here? Payload means actions. So payload action performed by malware once it reach a target system can include whether they will corrupt the system until the system malfunction or not responding. Second, might through zombie and botnet attack. So zombie and botnet, this one we will cover in the following slide, but let me briefly explain to you. Bot here means robot. B-O-T-N-E-T. B-O-T, bot here means robot. So this is a type of software application might perform a command. So what it means that like attacker they take fully control towards your computer remotely. Okay, attacker might take complete control remotely to the affected computer. So the computer or the machine that compromised, we call it as a zombie. And a collections of a zombie, a collections of an infected computer, we call it botnet. If you ever watch a zombie movie, how zombie look like you are doing something that you don't know what you are doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Betul kah?
Hi.
Yeah. So same goes to the definition here. Sometimes the computer user has no idea their computer machine has been controlled remotely by attacker. We have no idea, we just work as usual, but actually controlled by someone. So our machine called zombie and the collections of infected computers, we call it as botnet. Okay, so what is the purpose? Why they want to do this? Then you have to wait for in the following topic. I will discuss later on. So system key login, this one all will be covered later on. But you can guess with the name key. Key means our keyboard keys. So key login means through our typing action, attacker can capture. So does it dangerous? Yes, of course. Okay, so these two types include different actions and also, okay, let me repeat. Propagation involves spreading of a virus. Payload involves the action towards the machines. Okay, next one. Hey. Tell me why. Always when presenting screen, cannot proceed. Yeah. I think I can't present screen. What can you see now in the screen? If I do it
Yeah.
this way, okay or not? If I don't present whole screen,
Can you see?
that is, I make it larger. If I present screen, sometimes cannot proceed. Okay, like this. Okay, next one about attack kits. The toolkits used to attack, we call it crimeware. So this crimeware might use propagation mechanism and also payload action to make destroys to the computer machines. So some are the widely used toolkit as I mentioned there. There are 4 types here. Next one, attack sources. Hey, what is this about? You look at the explanation there. That's why I say your lecture not complete. All the meaning, description, everything are there. Another significant malware development is the change from attacker being individuals often motivated to demonstrate. Okay, overall, this one means when attacker performs some illegal actions, to who? Not only uh, not only contribute negative impact to individual, but also might produce some dangerous attack to different sources, such as could be uh, for organizations, for government agencies, business organization, political parties, or even for simple criminal purposes. How about this one? Advanced persistent threat. This one, advanced persistent threat, in short, we call it APT. So what is this here? You look at the one that I highlighted here. This is a well resource, persistent applications of a wide variety, malware to selected targets, usually business or political. So what does it mean? The threat, the ancaman, the threat happen towards only these two, usually to the business organization or for the political reasons. So this APT differ from other types of attack by their careful target selection. They are not simply target to everybody, no. Not like a spam email. Spam email target to everybody, as many recipients as possible, without knowing who are the um, specific victim. That's different. But for this one, for this malware, no malware, consider malware threat, they identify who is a party, who is a means a target person will be affected. So high profile attack include the one stated here. They have 4, so many new examples given. Look at the next slide. Explain in detail what is A, what is P, and what is T. Advanced means, let me go through the content first. Um, okay, advanced here means you look at the second bullet. You look at the second bullet. The individual component might not necessarily be technically advanced, but carefully selected to suit the chosen target. What does it mean? They are selecting, as I mentioned, just now, they are not simply attacked to as many possible victims as they want. They will choose carefully who are the target they want to attack. Second, persistent. Persistent here meant when they successfully select the chosen target, the attacker will keep on attack. Persistent here means repeatedly attack until the target is compromised. All right, that means by P, persistent. Next one is a threat. Threat to be selected target as a result of an organized, capable, and well-funded attacker. Uh, Let me see. Okay, look at the one that I underlined. Intend to compromise a specifically chosen target. The active involvement of people in the process greatly raises the threat level from that due to automated attack tools and also likely of successful attack. So overall for these three characteristics, the most dominant is the second one, persistent. Advanced threat, not so, we have to focus on the second characteristics. Okay, the attacker might keep on perform. They after they find the chosen target, they might attack over and over again until the target is compromised. This is the characteristics of a malware. Okay, next one. M. Okay, we look at this one, an APT attack. What is the M? Tujuan dia? We can guess this one. What is the M? They want to compromise a system. What do you think? Why attacker want to compromise uh, victims' computer system? Why they want to do that? Must have the reason behind, right? They
Yeah.
are now not only talking about attack individual but also attack business organization. Many computers involved. So we look at the first point here, physical disruption. Not only talk physical disruption, might also talk about data. Okay, like virus, worm, Trojan horse. Those are examples of malware that easily trap in victims' computer system because those malware can be downloaded without the consent of the users. So the technique used here, social engineering, phishing, drive-by, download. Don't worry. This one available in slide, I think about 30, slide number 30 and onwards. Okay, we'll have this. But in general, social engineering here means they use a technique. Um, let me how to phrase my sentence here. Let's say someone call you, telling that they are calling from telco company. Now they are doing upgrade system. They want to know your password to proceed to allow you update the software and so on. So they are using some reason where might trap the potential victims to expose their identities. Right? Phishing here is a method that target to a specific individuals or a group of victims within an organization. Phishing here just like memancing, phishing. They will use a way to trap the victim, such as through email. Sometimes when you receive an email and stated that your account now has been frozen, ataupun sudah bekukan. So you have to click the link below in order for you to activate your bank account. So that is a technique to trap the victims. So when the victims found that, if I didn't uh, activate now, later on, all my money will gone. So that is a way they use so that they influence the victim. When they click on the link, what happened? Could be directed to bogus website means not the real websites. Okay, next one, intent. We look at intent to infect the target with sophisticated malware with multiple propagations, mechanism, and payload. This is the intention, the reason why they do. Once they have gained initial access to the system, they will start attack. They this malware, they must think a way to access the system. That's the first thing. After they successfully access to the system, they might start proceed whether they want to spread to other connected system or they want to compromise a local system for other purposes. Then from here, we can see that we have to think a way how to protect our system so that will not be easily accessed by unauthorized program. Okay, next one. Now we start already. This slide explain what is virus. I give you 1 minute. Please go through the slide.
Okay.
Okay, already? So do you understand this slide? Can you understand this slide? What is virus now? Is it your first time study this, right? Virus. If a diploma student, they study in semester 1. This is your semester, which semester? Semester 4
Yeah.
or 2?
4.
Semester 4. So year 2, sem 1. Okay, okay. Can you share with me what do you understand by this? What is virus here? Do you see the one I highlighted in red? Those are keywords. So if you have your copy, you also do the same. Highlight the keywords. But yours background is in blue. I change it to different templates. Okay, virus is a program. Program also sometimes we call it is type of software. They will attach themselves. They will attach themselves to the executable content. First keyword here, modify them to include a copy of a virus. Second, replicate and goes on to affect other content. Last, they will spread through network environment. So from one computer to another computer. So this virus need trigger. Do you see the trigger term here? Trigger means need someone to click on it before it can be exploited. Okay, a computer virus is a type of software that infect other programs by of executable content. That's what we mean by it need the user trigger it. If you didn't trigger it, still there, will not exploit. Okay, do you understand? It's a type of, this is a type of executable. Let me type the second bullet. Okay, second bullet, executable program. So execute secretly when the host program is run. So it means that this virus will only be activated when the targeted program is activated. Activated, this program, this virus will also running together, but without the consent of the users. Okay. So specific to operating system and hardware, take advantage of their detail and weaknesses. All right, any question on these slides?
No.
No.
Hmm. Let me see what else I can add on from here. Okay, a virus that attach to the executable program will do anything that the program is permitted to. For example, when they execute secretly to the host program to run, once a virus code is executed, they will perform functions such as erase files, okay, such as erase files or maybe modify the file content. So one reason viruses dominated the malware scene in earlier years was a lack of user authentications and access control. So early years, this virus was very active. Why? Because early years, people not yet, I mean, we have not really understand what is this yet. That's why types of preventions steps or prevention method not yet being introduced properly. But slowly then, people know that one of the method to control, to avoid virus infection is through the access control. So by starting that, people will start installing malware protection software to the system. Okay, and the earliest years, do you know what is a macro files?
No.
Yes. No. So early years now not so popular because already identified and people knows it already. So earliest years, I think about 10 years ago, there's a type we call macro viruses. So these macro viruses will exploit the content supported by some uh, popular document like we are using Microsoft Words. Basically, it's Microsoft Office products like Microsoft Word, Excel file, Adobe PDF document. So these kind of documents are easily modified and shared by user as part of their normal system use. It means that people like to use this type of document in an earlier day. So these macro viruses are attached together on this document. When the user not protect it properly, then these macro viruses are easily spread through file sharing. But slowly after that, uh, this macro virus has been identified, and now they are editing the code together with the software used to protect any unauthorized software identified will quickly being solved. So mean not a big issue nowadays. Virus also got component. Virus component. We look at here. So computer virus has three parts. What is this? Infection mechanism, trigger, and payload. So infection mechanism means which user spread or propagate mean spread lah by virus spread or not duplication, um, referring to the infection lah. Mean might infect the computer system in short, so hard to explain this one. Virus component might affect might affect the computer system and able to to other computer system through network environment. So second part is a trigger. So trigger here, when or condition determine when the payload is activated or delivered. This is what I meant just now, this virus will be activated when after trigger. So how to trigger? You might ask, Miss, how macam mana? Macam mana it will happen? How consider trigger event? How consider trigger event? For example, um, for example, the malware software specify a date and time. Clever, huh? They are setting a date and time. So when arriving the date and time, that will happen. That's a trigger that time. And second could be caused by the user event, means they are setting the second layer towards your buttons. So when the time that you are and pressing the button, actually you are activated the event. So that might exploit, the virus might exploit lah by the time trigger by when the user entering the or pressing the button assigned. Last one is a payload. Payload and another word is actions. So the action could be included damage computer system file, erase file, example, erase files, modify files, or the worst is this action is not noticeable, mean not realized. By the time realized the files already, it has been affected to many components already. So far, okay, this one not so tough, right? So computer virus, just like the biological analogy, same to virus we are facing now. Attack, okay, attack the system, penetrate. Penetrate, what does it call in Malay? Penetrate means go into the body of the computer system. But here you're talking about biology, it means like human. So next one, it will replications, assembly, replicate. After that can be passing through to another potential victims. Okay, next one. Okay, 1 minute. Please go through the slide. I think today I talk too much, my throat start feeling like itchiness already. Have you done this slide? Morning I have 2 classes, 2 lecture, and this is my 3rd lecture today. This is virus faces, ada peringkat. So advanced, this virus, if diploma student, they will only learn what is virus, the effects, prevention, that's it. They are not learning as detailed as you all. You all learn the phases some more. So first stage, virus is idle, but this stage, this dormant phase, not all the virus has this stage. Idle until the time that trigger by the user. So after that, after trigger might spread through the system or to other computer system. And the last one is execution. Execution definitely will cause harm to the system. Degree of complications. Viruses have a various degree of complication. How they insert themselves in the computer code. So you are doing computer programming. So you will know sometimes this virus code they will insert earlier before header or could be inside the body content. This is an example code. This one I leave it to you. So this slide talk about sometimes, but now could be not necessary. Sometimes the infected code could be longer than the usual. But slowly, it's not So I mean, nowadays virus getting pro advanced, getting harder. Computer user getting harder to identify unless you are type of programmer who really go through. Usually the infected version of the program is longer than the uninfected one. That's usually, but not 100%. Virus classifications. Virus classification by targets include the following category. So left-hand side, classification by target. Right-hand side by the strategy. Okay, what is this boot sector infector means? You look at the definition here. Infect a master boot record or boot record and spread with a system is booting. So mean they are infected the boot sector. Second one, they are infected the files. The third one, macro virus, as I mentioned earlier on. Macro virus is a scripting code available in a Microsoft Office apps. Yeah, sorry, in the Microsoft Office software like Microsoft Word or Excel. There are examples of a virus listed there. If you have time, you can go through this kind of viruses and look at their story happened before, how they affect the organizations. Last one is a multi-parties. No, let me check. Multi-partite teeth virus. So might infect the files in a multiple way. So from here we can see that when the virus targeting the target could be to the boot sector, could be individual files or operating system, could be to the scripting, could be files but the same file with different ways. So macam-macam lah, there are different way in doing it. So right hand side, consumer strategy. So what is this about? Consumer strategy means this virus so clever. Not only people attack with strategy, virus also has. First, they will encrypt themselves. A portion of a virus create a random encryption key and encrypt the remainder of the virus. So the key is stored with the virus. So when an infected program is invoked, the virus uses the store random key to decrypt the virus. When the virus replications, a different random key is selected. Because of the bulk of a virus is encrypted with the different keys, for instance, there is no constant bit pattern to be observed. It means that this kind of, when encryption means they will change themselves to different format, so will not be easily understandable by the third party. So this virus also using the same approach. They might create a random encryption keys for themselves. And the time that decrypt also need to use a random keys to decrypt the remainder of the virus. Next one, stealth virus. A form of virus explicitly designed to hide itself from detection by antivirus software. I think this is quite clear. They are hiding themselves so that not easily can be identified by the antivirus or malware software. Go through the next one. Polymorphic virus is a type of virus that mutate themselves. Okay, mutate themselves with every infection. From the first version, mutate to another one. Every time are different. Last one, not only mutate, but will rewrite itself completely truly new. So this kind of behavior, uh, this kind of action on my custom has different appearance every time in the system. It means that very hard to not easy, not susah. I mean, not noticeable since they rewrite themselves every time and they appear in different behavior. Next one, first email virus, we call it, guess what is the name here? Called Melissa virus. Do you ever heard this before? Melissa virus or I love you virus? Do you
No.
ever heard?
Haven't no.
No, haven't. So Miss Melissa, we have one lecturer called Miss Melissa. Sometimes you say, I don't. When the time she teach this topic, she feel very reluctant because the same name. Okay, let me briefly explain to you. First email virus is called Melissa virus. In year, what is the year 1999, if not mistaken. So this Melissa virus is a mass mailing macro virus. It's a type of a macro virus. Remember macro virus? Mainly sent through document. So it is not a stand-alone program. This Melissa virus also, this is a type of virus. They are not like worm. Worm means they will replicate themselves. This type of virus when it trigger. So this virus targeted like words, document like words or Outlook, Microsoft Outlook. Do you ever use Microsoft Outlook?
One time only.
One time only. Microsoft Outlook, how does it look like?
It's like the email stuff.
Yes, yes, correct. Thank you. So many years back, we use when we have a new email. When we have a new email come in, automatically will be stored in a Microsoft Outlook, and I can view it offline. I can view my email offline. So this Melissa virus also use this as one of the way to access. This virus might also infect computer through email. This is the one you look at the email, the title there, you look at the picture, you look at the image in front. So the email with the title, what's the title here? The subject, important message from someone. So when you saw the subject, the recipient might think of, oh, maybe this is something important by top management, right? So when upon clicking the message, what is a body message there? Here is that document you asked for. Don't show anyone else. With the attachment list.doc. So when look at the content, this is a type of a social engineering way also. When you look at it, you will think of, don't show anybody else. Maybe something important, secret from top management. So what happened? When the time you clicking it in for Melissa virus, this the list contain the list of pornography sites and with their login accompany logins. So it would then mass mail itself to the first 50 people from the victim's contact list. So when you open it, you look at the list. After that, it will be automatically forwarded to your first 50 uh, list from your contact list. So when your friend receive the same email, they will thought you are the one who sent, right? You are the one who sent out because the contact list from yours and the sender definitely they might because from your contact list. Okay, so after that, they will do the same technique now, repeat and repeat again. Uh, the one at the top here, the one at the bottom, look at the PowerPoint slide. Some viruses are programmed to damage computer by damage program, delete file, or reformatting the hard disk. But some viruses are not designed to do any damage. What they want, they simply replicate themselves and perhaps make their presence known by presenting text, video, and audio messages. Okay, so it means that for viruses, some of it with the main intention to destroy yang tidak bagus. But some actually they just want to do it. They just want to let people know that they are successfully accessed. Okay, just like what is that, hacker and a cracker. Hacker, they have the main purposes of destroy computer system. Sorry, hacker actually the main intention is trying to access. In general, they are trying to access computer system, but they are not aimed for destroy. But cracker, yes. I just want to share cracker. Cracker means CRACKER. Cracker with the main intention to destroy, but slowly, because people slowly confuse between cracker and hacker, and they combine it. They will thought that cracker is like hacker. So when talk about destroying, immediately they will think of hacker. But actually, in general, hacker, they are not meant to destroy. It's cracker is the one that do it. But slowly, people uh, generalize it. People use the same term for both meaning. Okay, next one. Macro scripting code. This is the one that I mentioned. The scripting available in like Microsoft Word or the Microsoft Outlook. Okay, platform independent, infect document, easily spread. Why easily spread? You look at bullet number 1. Why easily spread? What do you think? Why they common in 1990s, and the third one easily spread. Why easily spread? Because
Because
in the
it's many people use
yes,
the software.
yes, correct. Because in the previous time, most of the computer user they use the same software. So not only on the software, this okay, next one is the worm already. Okay, this hang on now. So many macro viruses infect active content in Microsoft Word or Outlook or even Adobe PDF document. Those are the files or software that commonly used in the earlier time. Even the hardware platform and the operating system that support the application also infected. It means if my computer system, I'm using Microsoft Word, together my hardware component, my OS, all are infected. Okay. What else? Next, second. Let me look at. This is a easily spread. Yes. Through email. Okay, through email. Most reason have been developed, so they are no longer a predominant virus threat. Yes. So you look at the last bullet. Various antivirus programs have been developed. So this one is happening. I mean, this macro or scripting code viruses is very common. Easily senang dapat. Because people like to use this type of software. That's common in 1990s. But what is a year now? Now is 2021. How many years later? About 30 years later, right? So the software developer, they know already this type, the existence of this type of viruses. though antivirus or malware programs available nowadays are able to detect. So no longer dominant, no longer the predominant virus threat. Okay. Mm, any question up to this slide?
No.
No.
No question. So far, okay. This one virus not so difficult to understand. We are now slide 22, 2 o'clock. Let's take a 15 minutes break. Come back, we learn worm. Just now we learn virus. Now we will learn worm after 15 minutes. All right.
Okay.
See you.
Okay.
Three of you here.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
One more. Yeah, all right. Good. The virus we have done just now. Next is worm. You look at those keywords I put in red, so easier for your reading. Worm is a type of program that, let me see, keyword here. They will replicate themselves, duplicate themselves. Where's the keyword? They are replicate. Is a bullet number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the main characteristic. Upon activation, if a virus need trigger, still remember virus need trigger, but worm no need. This is a program that actively seek out more machine to infect, and each infected machine will be serve as an automated launching pad, automated automatically. They can spread to worm can spread to those network computer from system to system. Yes, can also spread to share media such as USB. When you share, okay, imagine when you use your pen drive in the cyber cafe. So you use it at the cyber cafe. If let's say infected, this USB pen drive, when it share with your friends, so your friend open it up, use it, so immediately will be spread to your friend's computer system. So other than that, also spread through email, through infected website. We are accessing the website and also browsing certain and uh, uh, not from the authorized website. They replicate. So computer worm are technically not computer virus since they don't infect other program, but some people nevertheless confuse the term since both spread by self-replications. Okay, don't bother about this. The most important, you remember this virus will not replicate themselves. They need trigger. Worm, they will replicate themselves. That's why sometimes when you are sharing some files over to your friend through email as an attachment, when your friends open it, they will also infected. So the worm, you look at the image on top, it can share through network connected devices. Next one, you look at, so what are the media? Okay, what are the media that transmission media for worm? First one, through email. Second, through file sharing. Third one, remote execution capability. This one more dangerous. So we look at here, okay. For remote execution capability, a worm execute a copy of itself on another system, either by using exploit remote execution facility or by exploit a program flaw in a network service to subvert its operation. Do you understand this? So this file can be activated, can be spread through remotely. Mean being controlled by remote computer. Remote file access or transfer capability. This one, a worm uses a remote file access or transfer service to another system to copy itself from one system to another one, where users on the system might then execute it. So, other than execution remotely, the fourth one is file access remotely. Last one, remotely log in. So the dangerous one, the last one, the worm might log into a remote system. Mean even though they are not in the same area, at another country, they still can access remotely as a user, as an authorized user. Okay, they can access your computer system remotely as they are the authorized users of the computer. And then they might use command to copy itself from one system to another where it executes. So they execute it remotely at the same time. Also, they might transfer it, not say transfer lah. the the files will also might share to other computer system as well. Okay, so next one we look at target discovery, scanning strategy that worm can use. Also another advanced features here. Scanning here, fingerprinting. What does it mean? First function in the propagation phase for a network worm, search for other system to infect. Scanning here means the worm searching. When they are at one system, they are searching how to go to another system, how to affect another system. All right, so one, two, three, four strategy here. Okay, 1 minute for you to go through this four strategy. Okay, inform me one you have done. The explanation here is complete. Huh?
Okay.
What about
Okay.
I let three of you share with the rest. Random. Who want to briefly explain rather than I'm the one talk, right? Can Noel try random?
Oh, okay. So the host ran come up with the random IP address, and they use the randomized IP address to spread the worm. Yeah,
Mm.
that's
Okay.
all I know.
Yes, good. Yeah, straightforward, correct. Okay, the compromised machine might generate the IP address randomly, and that would be used to spread out the. There's a strategy lah to spread out the worm, the potential victim. How about hit list? Pharaoh can try.
For hit list, the attackers compiles all the um, potential vulnerable machines, and then they um, infect the machine lah. I think, yeah,
Yeah. Okay, infect the machine based on the list
yeah,
generated.
yeah,
Okay,
based on
good.
the list.
Yes, correct. That's why they call it hit list. Means the listing all the machine that they are trying to hit. So that's why hit list. Next one, topology. Kelvin.
The worm just use the information on the victim to select more hosts to send.
Yes, they're using information from your machine, find the potential victim. Last one, local subnet. Kevin.
The host just once it get into behind the firewall in one PC, you just might as well go to other PC behind in the local network.
Mm-mm. Okay, good, correct. If a host can be infected behind a firewall, that host then look for target in its own local network. So behind firewall means uh, What's the purpose of firewall? Who can tell?
Protection.
To mm,
to prevent from uh, attackers, I
yeah,
think.
prevent. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Uh, to prevent unauthorized intrusions. This firewall can be a hardware, can be software. Okay. So the host uses a subnet address structure to find other hosts that will otherwise be protected by the firewall. So they are looking for other hosts which are not protected. That's it. Okay. So next one, we look at slide number 26. I have to speed up a bit. My target is half, means about 50. So now it's a 230. Next one, look at the graph. This graph list describe a model for the worm propagation based on the analysis of network worm attack at many years back, at the time before. The speed of propagation and the total number of hosts infected depends on the number of factors, including the modes of propagations. Okay, sorry, the mode of propagation, and then the vulnerabilities exposures and the degree of the preceding attack similarity. Okay, can switch to the fractions of hosts infected and the fraction of hosts not infected. You look at the phase on top. Slow phase, fast phase, and a slow finish phase. But no worry, exam will not ask you this. The next one, first worm. Yeah, just now we talked about first virus, Melissa virus. First worm, they call it Morris worm in year 1988. So what is this? Spread through Unix system. Attempt to crack the local password and log into the system. After that, they are trying to exploit to the system. Successful attack achieved communication with the operating system command interpreter. Do you ever heard this before? Morris worm.
No.
No.
Okay, for this one, okay, listen here. I have an additional. Sometime I remember any point, I will list it down so that I can share with you. So, okay, listen to this. For this, Morris worm attempt to log into the remote host as a legitimate user. Okay, they are logged into the remote host as they are just like our previous slide explanation. They were accessing remote host, just pretend that they are the authorized user, like they are the owner of the computer system. So in this method, the worm first attempted to crack the local password files and then use a discover password to corresponding user's ID. The assumption was that many users would use the same password on different systems. Take notes. To obtain the password, the worm ran a password cracking program that tried. Do you understand what I mean? So from the one I share with you, the what is it? The attacker, they assume most of the users use the same password on different systems. So how to avoid this happen? It means all of you, please don't set the same password. Okay, in different platform, use different password. Why? Especially we cannot use those passwords where the word can be easily found from the dictionary. Try to combine capital letters, small letter, symbols mixed together. Do you learn the topic about create a safe password before?
Just a bit.
Yes. So now you know the technique. I mean how to correct a good password to avoid anyone can easily think of or guess of. Okay, next one. First worm, this is the history, so you can take a look on it. This is a recent worm attack, okay, with the year and with the name. This one also, I leave it to you. Next one, worm technology. Worm also got technology. The explanation is in the following here, but I will explain briefly to you based on this slide. All right, the worm technology include the following. How many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Multi-platform. Okay, look at, we started from the one on top, multi-platform. These worm, they are not only attacked to Windows machines. Multi-platform means they are not only uh, interested in attacking Windows, but also others operating system. The most popular one is Unix. And also they like to exploit the scripting, macro scripting to the popular document types. The second one, multi-exploit. Okay, multi-exploit here means new worms will penetrate the system in different way. Multi-exploit means they do it in different way. Can exploit through the web server. Okay, multi-exploit mean they can exploit through the web server or through the email, through the file sharing, even through the browser or the share media. So many ways they can use to exploit. Next one is ultra fast spreading. By the name, we can guess already. So it means that the worm can spread very fast in a short period of time. Okay. Next one, polymorphic. Polymorphic here means for the detection. This one very clever. If they want to protect themselves, not easily detected by the malware software. How? They will think a way how to skip the filter. Okay, the worm will adopt the virus polymorphic technique. Each copy of the worm has a new code generated. Do you see that? All those worm very clever. They will generate a new code or new appearance, new features every time in every access. Even with the encryption technique, some more. Terry, not Terry. I mean, whatever you can think of, the virus, the maker also can think of. Next one, metamorphic. In addition to changing the appearance, um, like the polymorphic, on top of that, worms have repertoire behavior patterns that are unleashed at different stages of propagations. Metamorphics mean they, other than different appearance, they have a different behavior, which is previously haven't been identified yet. Different stage, different publications. So you can see how advanced of this worm technology. Transport vehicle here means the worm can rapidly compromise a large amount of a system. They are ideal for spreading a wide variety of malicious payloads, such as through the bot, the zombie and bot services, through the email generation, or even through the spyware. Last one, zero-day exploit. Okay, this one means zero-day exploit means the hacker managed to exploit the vulnerability of the software when the time software developer release and before software developer fix it. They call it zero-day exploit. Okay, I repeat. Zero-day means what? Tiada hari, 0 day. So when the time the software developer release the software, haven't has a time, haven't has a chance to find out any problem yet. Hacker already hacker already managed to exploit the vulnerability before software developer managed to fix it. Okay, to achieve maximum surprise and distributions, a worm should exploit an unknown vulnerability that is only discovered by the general network community when the worm is launched. So this worm technology, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they are other than three of you, other than learning what is worm. So this is a way how worm can spread or affect as an attacker. I mean, how they use this to successfully attack potential victim. Many way can do. Okay. So explanation already done. Next one, this is good. This slide is good. Please highlight. Okay, have you highlight slide number 33? Differentiation between computer virus and worm. Okay, go through the slide, this one. Comparison by the year, worm and virus by the year. Slide number 35. Are you in slide number 35 now? Propagations through content infections through virus, vulnerability exploit through the worm, SQL attack to the SQL coding, the database, drive-by download, clickjacking, payload will have a corruption, theft of a service, zombie, botnet, key locking, and hiding. So we look at the first one here. The following slide, I think they not arrangeable. Mobile code should be the following. You look at the list here. Mobile code from drive-by download under vulnerability exploit. Clickjacking under vulnerability exploit. Okay, now we look at here. Mobile codes. Are you here? Mobile code here can be referred to script. Can be referred to script, macro, or any instructions. Mobile code is transmitting from a remote system to the local system and then executed on the local system without the user's notice, without the user's instructions. Okay, at the second bullet, transmitted from a remote system to the local system without our instructions. So popular vehicles for mobile code here, such as JavaScript. Listed here, JavaScript, VBScript. The most common way of using mobile code for malicious operations on a local system, such as, again, email attachment or download from untrusted site. This one for Noel. The most popular vehicle for mobile codes infections, email attachment, download from untrusted site or untrusted software, even through the website also. Mobile phone worm. When is the first mobile phone worm? 2004. Through this mobile phone worm, through what technology here listed? Through Bluetooth technology, Bluetooth wireless connection, or through the MMS. MMS stands for Multimedia Messaging Service. Nowadays, we use WhatsApp, right? We use WhatsApp, we use Telegram, we use Facebook messages. Previous time, earlier days, we before Facebook and WhatsApp, we use SMS. Do you know what is a SMS? The messaging.
Yeah.
Messaging for for message text. If we want to send a picture, we use a MMS. So the target for mobile phones worms, of course, as the name, mobile phone worm. So the target for smartphone users, for the smartphone, which is a mobile phone that permits user to install software applications from other resources. All these early mobile worm targeted mobile phone using the Symbian operating system. That's for earlier day lah. Okay, target on a Symbian operating system. Now, what operating system we are using? We're using. Do you know what operating
Android.
system?
Android.
Yeah, Android. Earlier time is a Symbian. So completely. So what's the effect here? Will completely disable the phone, force, and could be also force a device to send costly messages. Okay, so there's a one name here, Com Warrior. Next one, drive-by downloads. Okay, I go a bit faster. Yeah, my target is half of the chapter. Okay, I will not go by force lah. 90, I think too much already. Later, three of you peng san. You don't know what am I talking. I only make it half lah. So drive-by download here. Look at those keywords that I highlighted. One common approach to this exploit browser vulnerability so that when the user view the web page controlled by the attacker, it contains codes that exploit the browser bugs to download and install malware on the system without our consent. This is what they call it drive-by download. So mean we are downloading something, we intention to downloading something where useful for us, but at the same time also downloaded unnecessary software. This, look at the last bullet. This malware does not actively propagate as a worm does, but rather wait for unsuspecting users to visit the malicious web page in order to spread the system. So mean they have downloaded buttons. Okay, downloaded buttons on the malicious web page. So when we are visiting the web page and controlled by the attacker, where the time we do some selection, the infected code will be exploited, where we downloaded or installed some malware software. Click checking. Click means like we do selections. So this click checking similar to keystroke from what we typed. Okay, so this is a where vulnerability used by the attacker to collect infected users' click based on what we click. The attacker can force the users to do variety of things from adjusting our computer setting where let's say when we are, for example, let's say we are running some applications, but the file cannot be opened due to I don't have Adobe Flash. So what happened? No choice. I have to download it or else I can't see the content of my teaching material, let's say. So how? This is a way that attacker my user to so that the infected user might click on some selection where is necessary for me. Okay, the button, let's say I want to download the file. Without downloading the Adobe Flash, I cannot view my virtual computer, let's say. So this attacker could place another button under the legitimate button or over the legitimate button, just like to cover it. So how? After I click the button, I want to download the software unintentionally without my consent. I also downloaded the malware. All right. So similar to this technique, keystroke also similar. What does it mean? Similar means based on what we type, let's say passwords or email addresses or bank account numbers. Okay, so whatever we type to, let's say when we are entering my password, also the same pattern, they are cover it over or under the legitimate text box. That is something like invisible frame controlled by the attacker. They can see whatever we type. Yeah, the more you know, the more you feel scary, right? Many patterns. So next one, social engineering. Social engineering is a way, cara use. What is three boxes here? Tricking users to assist in the compromise of their own system. It's a trick. It's a way, it's a method. First one, spam. Through the spam mail. What is spam mail? Do you understand what is a spam mail?
Email sent to many people.
Yeah, spam to many people without any specific target. They just spam. This lead to sometimes spam. What is the purpose behind of the spammer here? Apa tujuan they want to send so many spam email?
To affect as many victims as possible.
Okay, affect victims. Lagi, do we have other answer?
Maybe like to get um like phishing lah, I think. Like taking something advantage.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, very good. Three of you. Okay, this one spam mail, they are sending a lot bulk email means send a lot of email where they don't know who is the recipient. Just send, and we receive, even though we don't know who is the sender, but still we repeatedly receive the same unknown email. So of course they want to compromise the system by sending too much of it. Second purpose. Second purpose. Now this technique consider low cost technique. Low cost technique in doing marketing. Okay. So this one, the this one also one of the technique using by many Western country. They send a lot of same email to many recipients with the hope that maybe 1 or 2% out of 100%, 1 or 2% of the victims, there is a time, the second that they click open, they have a chance to do advertisement, marketing to purchase their product online. Okay, this is not, some are scam, some are not scam. Right, they are taking the advantage to keep on promoting the same product. Let you, there's a one time that you click in, maybe you look at the promotion, you are interested. Okay, that's a true way. I mean the proper way, but also other might use as a scam where the email attachment could contain or consist malware. All right. Significant carrier malware used for phishing. Okay, so now you understand the phishing already. Just now I did explain. Okay, spam, as I mentioned just now, is a low cost required used to send a large amount or volume of email to many people at a time. So first spam shown in slide number 41, social engineering. You look at the picture there. This is John, the system admin. What is your password? And then the second one, email has noticed a problem with your account. What ethnicity are you? Your mother. This is the girl who are asking. They are using this technique. I need your password to reset. What is your password? I have come to repair your machine and some software pages require your detail. This is a technique they use where sometimes we unintentionally leak out our personal sensitive informations. Okay, social engineering. Next one, slide number 33, Trojan horse. Just now we learned virus, worm. Third, Trojan horse. These Trojan horse, I would say they are a they are a clever program. Why I say they are clever program? These Trojan horse, their appearance looks like they are very useful. Okay, you look at the appearance such as the name. The name looks like they are system files. So when you look at the file name, you would think that, oh, this is your system file, they're not harmful. But actually, they are Trojan horse who look like they are useful. Some even they hide, okay, they hide nicely into your system file and rename it like system file name. So I would say they are clever lah. Okay, so when in this kind of malware, quite hard to identify unless we use malware protections. Okay, so I give you example. If let's say an attacker they are looking for, they want to gain access to your sensitive personal information that's stored in the file in your computer, the attacker might create Trojan horse program. Okay, aware that when you are downloaded, executed, might able to scan through the computer user's files. Of course, the desired sensitive informations. And the copy could be sent to the attacker through the web form or to the text messages. All right. So, okay, Trojan horse. Next one. Yeah, you look at this one. The software downloaded a program or software. When you click, this is a scam. Scam means not the real one. When we click in, we are downloaded. We don't know what we have downloaded. We just know that we are not do it in a correct way. Definitely, we will not download the proper software we want. Okay, especially antivirus software, I have to take note. Look at the address bar. Are we downloading from the authorized website? Okay, here showing how Gmail scam work. All right, next one is about payload system corruptions. One, two, okay, 5 more slides. I will stop at slide number 50. Everyone all right? Can I proceed 5 more slides?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So once the malware is active in the target system, they already access to the system. The next concern is what they want to do. What action will take on the system? So this is what payload does in a payload does it carry. Some malware has a non-existence or non-functional payload. After that, we look at three types of system corruptions here. So if let's say the malware successfully access to our computer system, these are the three system corruption could be happen. First one, Chernobyl virus. Year 1998, it will infect the executable files when we open it. So mean based on a trigger, need someone to open, then we'll exploit. So the trigger here could be trigger date. Okay, could be a trigger, that means based on the date and time that has been preset. After that, the second one is I don't know how to pronounce it, please. Mass mailing worm infected Windows. This was happened before actively in year about 2000. This kind of malware spread to email, They copy itself, and then also they will list how to say they will find out all the address from the victims list. At the same time, send out to the recipient. Okay, what else? For this one, on the trigger date, causes file on the hard drive. Yeah, similar to the first type just now. The trigger can be by the user action. Second could be by the date, setting up the date. The seriousness of this, when it exploit, can cause all the file from the local hard drive become empty. So last one is a ransomware. I think some of you ever heard this term. Ransomware means the malware will encrypt the user's file or data. Encrypt. And then they will contact you. If you want to decrypt your data, you to pay me some amount of money. So that's called ransomware. If you pay, then I will decrypt the file and you will get back your files. Or else forever ever decrypted and encrypted and you cannot access to your files. It's quite common nowadays because most of the computer users nowadays have an internet access. When internet access means we are open up our computer, we are open up the door from unauthorized access. Okay, even though sometimes we're doing our best to protect, there's there's some way for them to. There's a way they know where's the vulnerability and could be accessed, right? CryptoLocker ransomware sent through email attachment. So beware, don't ever simply open up the attachment. So this ransomware, as I mentioned, will encrypt all the files. So we will learn the asymmetric encryption next chapters. Chapter number 3. Pilot system corruption, real-world damage, damage the system, the physical equipment. Okay, M, that's a main target, cause damage of physical equation like your hardware. Logic bomb, this is interesting. Look at the next one. The key component of a data corrupting malware, we call it logic bomb. This is a code that embedded in malware that is set to exploit when fulfill certain conditions. Okay, when fulfill certain conditions. So what are the conditions? Example here. This condition will be serve as a trigger for the logic bomb. Can be based on the absence or the presence of certain files in the system, or also could be a particular day of the week or dates, or even particular when the user running particular application exploit. So once triggered, the bomb may alter or delete the data of the files or entire files. So might cause the machine damage. Okay, next one. So this is a case, Omega engineering logic bomb happened before in year 1996. So this one for you. And the last one also showing some Omega bomb codes for your reference. Okay, for your reference, for your knowledge. That's all for today, up to slide number 50. Okay, overall today, what have you learned? Overall?
Worm.
Yes, worm. We
Malware.
learn malware. We learn virus. We learn Trojan horse. We learn different stages, different technologies, and different strategies apply to the malware. If no question, we shall dismiss for today. The tutorial, you do whatever you can. Okay, whichever relevant, you do it. If haven't covered, you leave it. All right,
Okay.
dismiss for today.
Okay.
Thank you so much, three of you. Thank you for listening. Not easy, about 50 slides. I'm talking non-stop, but I'm not sure how much you can absorb. Please do revisions.
Oh, it's okay, miss.
See you. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you,
Okay,
Miss.
miss. Thank you.
Bye.